John Cena could possibly be returning to the WWE. Let's get into this first story on the news and rumors in wrestling today. And it's all about John Cena because he may be returning to the WWE soon. There were unconfirmed rumors going around Friday that said Cena's WWE return was set to coincide with WWE's return to the road in July, beginning with Money in the Bank weekend. In an update, it was reported that Cena's return is still being discussed for the first show back with fans in the crowd, which would be on the July 16th edition of WWE SmackDown on Fox, airing live from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Obviously, we haven't seen Cena come back since the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 37 back in 2020. Now, it's recently been announced that Cena will executive produce and narrate a new WWE Evil series for the Peacock and WWE Network. So, we could definitely see him coming back during this time period because rumor has it is that WWE is pulling out all the stops for these shows with the fans finally returning to the events for that Friday Night SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and that Monday Night Raw. So we could totally definitely see him come out and be part of this because they're going to pull out all the stops. They could bring back other guys as well. They already talked about changing the sets, new sets for these events. They're going to go all out for this big return to fans. It's going to be like a big party, a lot of big surprises, a lot of big stuff going on for this return. It's announced here that they will return to the road for a 25-city tour that begins with SmackDown in Houston, continue with Money in the Bank pay-per-view July 18th at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, and live Monday Night Raw July 19th from the American Airlines Arena in Dallas. And then WWE will announcing the rest of the dates in the coming weeks. The 25-city schedule will run through Labor Day, which is Monday, September 6th. So I could see him popping out at least on Friday and Monday Night's Raw. Totally could see that going down. It is in Texas. He can show up, knock it out, and then go on to whatever else he's doing. But will he come back in just a one-time appearance on a Friday? Will he come back the Monday? Will he come back for a little bit of a part-time run? I don't know. Maybe leading up to SummerSlam, he could have a SummerSlam match. Maybe that's why they want to bring him back as well at the same time. But they're going to pull out all the stops. It's going to be big stuff. John Cena could be coming back with the big return to fans for that Friday Night SmackDown on July 16th in Houston. So it could be a major show, major stuff going on. But WWE is going to bring everything for this return to fans. So you love to see it. Let's get to the next story here. And it's about Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore thanks fans for their prayers after he was hospitalized over the weekend. Former WWE star Enzo Amore posted a video update on his Twitter account after he was hospitalized over the weekend. Amore took a DDT on the floor during a match with Ivan Warsaw in Dallas for the SWE promotion. Amore was said to have been knocked unconscious. It was a scary spot, but it looked like he's doing well. He's wearing a neck brace. You remember the big injury he had against the Vaudevillains when he's part of Enzo and Cass for that WWE pay-per-view. He hit the bottom rope, banged his head up against the floor, and it was a really nasty one. This one looked bad as well. He seems to be okay. Maybe just wearing the neck brace for, precautionary reasons, or it could be part of like a gimmick, or maybe part of that as well. But a scary injury from Enzo, but sounds like he's okay, and he will be okay to come back and not suffer, serious injuries from this scary DDT that he took over this past weekend. Next story here. WWE is planning more NXT call-ups to the main roster. WWE NXT superstar Rick Boogs appeared on last week's episode of SmackDown when he interrupted a pre-match promo with King Corbin. He was shredding the guitar for Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance. It was awesome stuff. Fightful Select reported today that they were told that there are plans for additional call-ups to Raw and SmackDown, including talent both from NXT and NXT UK. As it stands right now, there's no word yet on exactly who or how many people will be called up to the main roster, but NXT talent has been speculating amongst themselves who will be called up. It was added that multiple call-ups have been planned and at least in the works for a while for both Raw and SmackDown. I think Raw needs it the most because we talked about a story a couple of weeks back about Raw feeling that they don't have any stars at the top of the card, with Randy and AJ being part of tag team feuds right now. So could see a lot of NXT guys get called up to kind of fill those roles and kind of fill out the card, because a lot of Raw has been super repetitive lately. I guarantee you tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw will be similar to the last 6 or 7 that we've seen. So they need more people to show up, more people to be on the card to fill out the roster and make, so not everybody's on every single show every single week fighting the same people. Totally definitely need it. SmackDown, I don't think they need that many call-ups. I think most of these call-ups will be for Monday Night Raw, but they also want to have these call-ups in time for the live shows in front of fans in that July period. So like I said, we're going to see a lot of big things happening with those return to fans in that Money in the Bank weekend. We could start with some of these call-ups. We could see Keith Lee come back. We could see a bunch of people show up on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. So exciting stuff here. Let's get to this next and last story here. And it's Kenny Omega seemingly taking shots at WWE drones, Jim Ross, and James Cornette. All right, so AEW World Champion Kenny Omega didn't hold back any punches while responding to a tweet from Chris Jericho on Sunday night. In response to Jericho calling him the best wrestler in the world today, Omega seemingly took a shot at Jim Cornette, WWE fans, and AEW announcer Jim Ross. This was the tweet. Meh, I'd rather believe the bigot cuck, dimwit E-Drones, and the guy that thinks I'm the WWE champion. One can presume that Omega was referring to Cornette as the bigot cuck and WWE's online fan base as dimwit E-Drones. As far as for the guy who thinks I'm WWE champion, Omega was likely referring to JR, who accidentally called him WWE champion on AEW Dynamite back in February. Now, during a recent episode of Grilling JR, Jim Ross called Randy Orton the best wrestler in the world. He said, quote, I don't think anybody is any better than Randy Orton in the wrestling business. Jim added, I'm sure there's Kenny Omega fans out there that would say Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world. Some will, and they've got the right to their opinion, and I'm not going to argue it. Omega is really freaking good. In any event, it's a good time to be a fan. A lot of great talent out there improving their game, adapting and adding things. That's the tweet there. So he's in response to Chris Jericho calling him the best wrestler in the world. All right, so it's a little bit of an edgy kind of thing to say, especially calling WWE fans E-Drones, but he's trying to get stuff riled up. I mean, he's got all these titles. He wants to be out there, people to love and hate him, so he wants the attention. This is obviously going to get it. I don't think the Jim Ross dig was really much of anything. It's just a little joke by him. I'm pretty sure Jim Ross will take it in stride. Jim Cornette, not a big fan of Kenny Omega. Obviously, where you got that reference from, where he would call him that. But the thing is, the dimwit E-Drones, a lot of people are going to be upset by that, by him calling WWE fans that. But he's just trying to get a reaction, get riled up, get out there, people talking about him. He has all these titles, so he wants the attention, obviously. So, I mean, he'll probably get into a couple more Twitter spats here and there, but that's what he's looking for. He's looking for the attention, looking for the drama, looking for all that stuff. So that's what you expect to come out of Kenny Omega, the top guy. It makes sense as to why he would do it, come out like that. He's obviously got critics like Jim Cornette, like a lot of people in the WWE fan base who would criticize him and criticize AEW. Not constructive criticism, which I have done myself, obviously, of both products, AEW and WWE, but they're just AEW haters and stuff like that. You got them on both sides, WWE haters and AEW haters. You got to be, realistic and constructive with the criticism you give to either company. Some people don't feel like doing that, and this is who he's referring to. So he'll get a lot of hate tweets for this and a lot of stuff like that. Maybe some rumors of him and JR not being cool with each other. I don't know. I doubt it, but we could see that going on. But something interesting coming from the Kenny Omega camp there on his Twitter in response to a tweet Chris Jericho put out by calling him the best wrestler in the world. But that's the news and rumors for you guys today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to drop a like on this video. Hit the chair in the corner before it hits you first and sub to the channel. Make sure you tune in tonight after Monday Night Raw for a Monday Night Raw review and reaction. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. News and rumors once again on Tuesday. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.